This is the Eclectic Discussion Podcast.
What's up, everybody? EDP. I'm your host, Eclectic. I'm here with 12 Kyle. We are doing another fantasy draft. We're going back to the sports. We're gonna hit the baloncesto. 90s college point guards. This is what we're doing. We've already did 90s NBA point guards, but we're taking it back a little bit. We're taking it pre-draft. So, with that being said, I'm assuming these particular point guards had to play in the NCAA at some point in between 1990 and 1999. Do I have that correct?
This is correct.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 12 Kyle. Anything you'd like to say to the people before we start? You do have the first pick.
Oh, wow. I do have a first pick. Yeah, man, looking forward to this one. The 90s, we had some dope point guards in college basketball. And I mean, truth be told, college basketball was dope in the 90s. Can't really say much for it now, but great times, man, great times. And you and I both were outside at this particular time, so I know who you like. So I'm interested to see if you pick based on what you like or what you think is going to win.
Oh.
Because sometimes it's not the same.
Okay. Well, in that case, this is going to be interesting for the listeners and you. So, without further ado, Mr. First Pick overall, I would like to open the EDP Eclectic Discussion Podcast 1990s NCAA point guards fantasy draft.
Yes, sir. Man, this is gonna be good. Strap yourself in, folks. I gotta go with my favorite. So my first pick in the 90s college point guard draft, I gotta take this kid out of Georgetown University. He was the truth, he was the answer, he was a little bit of everything. You know him as Bubba Chuck. My man Allen Iverson is the first pick.
Probably a lot of people's favorite. Really good guy. I think that was my first pick in the 90s NBA point guard draft. So I can't disparage that one.
Oh, no doubt. That's my guy.
You learned well.
Well, hell, if I didn't take him, you were going to take him.
Probably.
Right.
So with my first pick in the college point guard fantasy draft, we're gonna go 6'0" guard for the Duke Blue Devils, 1989 and 1993. We're gonna go with the number one guy in, I believe, assists in college, Bobby Hurley.
Great pick. This
guy was a problem, and everyone hated him. The only person that was more hated was his teammate.
Thanks. Oh man, that's a great pick, man. Yeah, and you're right. He was hated, but if we're gonna be real, he was a winner. So I mean, you can't hate on that. Okay. Carry two. All right, number 2 pick. I'm going, before this guy became an all-pro in the NBA, he was a superstar on the left coast. He played 2 years at the University of California. I am talking about the Pac-10 Player of the Year, my man, Jason Kidd, as the number 2 pick. J. Kidd.
Gotta love that pick. especially if we're talking college. That was great.
Sir.
What we're gonna do with our second pick. We're on the second pick. We're gonna go. We're gonna go with another 6-foot guard. Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, 1989 to 1991. Going Kenny Anderson. Yeah, that's what we're doing there.
No doubt. Mr. Chibbs. Love that dude, man. Great ball player. Actually, he made your number one pick look silly at one point.
He did. I actually have a basketball card with that picture.
Say word. Wow. Hey, they cherish that. That's for sure. Yeah, great pick, man. Great pick. Kenny Anderson out of New York City came down, played at Georgia Tech. Lethal Weapon 3. Great ball player. Great pick. He was high on my board as well. Man, this is tough, man, because there's a couple of different ways I can go. Sheesh. With the number 3 pick, we're talking college, right?
We are.
Number 3 pick, I am going to go with the guy who led his team to the national championship, and they beat Duke by 30. This guy ran the point that year, and he played half the year with a broken jaw. I am talking about none other than Greg Anthony from ULV. That is my 3rd pick.
Right. Definitely someone I had on my list. So you gotta like that. That was a good pick. That was a really good pick. Well, I'm pretty sure I have two picks that I know I'm gonna try, because this is my 3rd pick, so I know what my 4th and 5th pick are. Because there's not a shot in hell that you're picking them. So I'm gonna go with 1986 to 1990, just getting in there. Oregon State's own Gary Payton.
Good pick. The glove.
Just squeaking in there for the eligibles.
Yeah, he just got in there. I mean, just got in. Yeah, man, that's a great pick. Where we at? We at 4. I gotta take this guy, because if I don't take him, my friend over here is definitely gonna take him.
I will not. You can let him draft. You can let him drop. I have my next 2 picks, and there's no way you're thinking of him.
Well, I already know one of your picks, so and you know I'm not gonna take him.
No, you do not know. These last 2.
I know. I know one of them.
All right.
I know, and I'll tell you once you pick him.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say I knew it.
Okay.
All right. So with the 4th pick, I'm gonna take a guy who's All-American, Wooden Award finalist, the Naismith College Player of the Year. He played at a school called Memphis State. He averaged 22 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. I'm talking about none other than the 6'8" point guard, Anthony. Y'all know him as Penny Hardaway, as the number 4 pick.
Excellent pick. I believe that was my 2nd pick in the NBA, 90s NBA point guard
This is
draft.
correct.
Love it. But yeah, you had no fear. He would have dropped. That was not one of the 2. I told you, there is no way. I will demonstrate.
Okay.
With my 4th pick, we're going with actually a champion, 6'2" point guard, 1996 to 2000, Michigan State Spartan, Mateen Cleaves.
Wow. You're right.
I know. I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen.
How do you think I had him on my board? Great player, though. Great player.
He's like the all-time leader in Michigan State for a whole bunch of shit, and Michigan State also had Magic Johnson.
Yeah, and Steve Smith too. So you're right.
Even though he looks like a snapping turtle, he was a baller for Michigan State.
Call him a turtle. Okay, so I think I know what your fifth pick is.
There's no way.
For my fifth and final pick, another guy out of the Imperial class of 1996, West Coast guy. He played at a school called Santa Clara, where he was the WCC Conference Player of the Year. He's Santa Clara's all-time assist leader, free throw percentage, attempted three-pointers. None other than Steve Nash as my fifth and final pick.
So basically, besides Greg Anthony, you have my 90s NBA point guard draft almost.
I have what?
I say you have my NBA point guard draft. Well done. Listen, again, I knew what my fifth pick was going to be yesterday. So if you think you know it, say it right now, and I will tell you you are correct, and we'll get out of this draft.
Kid out of Cincinnati.
No.
Wow. Wow.
Nope.
I'm surprised. All right, lay it on me. Who you got?
With my fifth and final pick, we're going with a 6'1" guard out of the Wolf Pack. Half of Fire and Ice. Fire is Rodney Monroe. We're going 1987 and 1991. Chris Corchiati.
Yeah, man. You're right. I would have never guessed that. I would have never guessed Chris. He was a baller too, man.
Number 2 all-time currently in assists in NCAA. That guy was a problem. Fire and Ice was a problem. And if the people who know will understand and appreciate this draft, the people who do not, I will get 0 votes.
At least you recognize that.
Listen, we're talking college. My team was a problem in college. Your team was a problem in the NBA.
Well, no, Greg Anthony wasn't a problem in the NBA. Greg Anthony was a problem in college.
Yeah.
But you're right, though, man. It's I think it's imperative that, well, I mean, obviously, you all are listening, but for those who don't listen, we need people to listen, because looking at the list or whatever once it gets put out doesn't help you on this one. You had to have either been outside or been around or been alive or, be a basketball fan to understand how dope both of these lists are. I mean, Chris Corchiani, Team Cleves, both were winners in college.
Yeah.
Not so much in the pros, but this is a college. Same for Bobby Hurley.
Yeah, I mean, my entire team,
baddest point guards ever.
My entire team was almost trash in the NBA except for Gary Payton. But let me recap. Let me recap before we get out of here. Team Kyle has a squad. Team Kyle's squad would win the gold medal in the Olympics. Allen Iverson, Jason Kidd, Greg Anthony, Penny Hardaway, Steve Nash. The only one on his team that I wanted that I did not get, well, Allen Iverson's a go-to, but it's Greg Anthony. My team, Team Kleck, Bobby Hurley, Kenny Anderson, Gary Payton, Mateen Cleaves, and Chris Corchiani. Or if you're talking college, you got this team. And that's the only thing you talking. If you talking anything else, maybe I'd win most syllables. That's about it.
I think we should bookmark this when it come back to this. We should do because there are a couple of point guards. Actually, there's quite a few point guards that we've left on the cutting room floor that played in the 90s that got busy in college.
Yeah. We, ladies and gentlemen, stick around for part 2 of this draft. The only rule would be no one that was drafted this episode would be eligible. And I mean, it's a decade worth of point guards, so there's more than enough to go around. So with that being said, we're going to be out of here. We appreciate you listening. Please, Eclectic Podcast, it's the Twitter and the Instagram. Please follow or like or whatever you guys got to do over there. and go to Spotify and Apple and Stitcher and everywhere else you can get a podcast and get to 12 Cal Podcast. It's probably the third greatest podcast ever made. Third, yeah, it's probably third. It's top five. It's top five.
Top five and I ain't five.
Yeah. He might be top five and he ain't five. He might be 4.5. Listen, and follow him on Instagram and Twitter and everywhere. You see pictures of his family, I guess. So, with that being said, we got to get out of here. Appreciation.